This is a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. Go to allthews.3cr.org.au.
We're putting up new buildings, we're knocking down the old. We're working in the summer heat and in the winter cold. And the labour power we sell, me boys, for a hard-earned weekly pay produces mighty profits for the greedy MBA. And whether we were born here or born in Italy, in Greece, in Spain or Ireland, in England or Fiji, we all of us are workers, united we must stand, until the wealthy bludgers have been driven from our land. We faced deregistration, it backfired in the face. We're not fooled by arbitration, we won't stay in our place. We hit the bosses hard and fast to win and keep our gains, and break a couple of concrete pours to back our log of claims. So keep your powder dry and hold your head up high. It's class to class and face to face, our limit is the sky. We've got a fighting history and we never will be cowed. Our builders' labour is a name to make a man feel proud.
And it's good morning from the Concrete Gang, 8:55 on your AM dial, 3CR radio, every Sunday morning, 9:30 AM. Campo.
Good morning, Gorilla.
So I hope you're all having a good start with your breakfast on the Sunday morning. We've got a bit of news around the jobs here today, and we probably should start off maybe with the young activists.
Yeah, we had a young activist meeting this week. Massive roll-up. I think there was another 110 blokes and women rocked up, which is good. You know, it's a good sign of a healthy union. You know, when you got that many young people trying to get involved in the union after work in their own time, that's awesome.
For a bit of pizza and a beer.
Bit of pizza, bit of beer.
Yeah, and get along because it's apparently very, very good. And full credits to Elias and Joey Miles. I think they kicked that off. And
yep.
It's growing legs. It's getting bigger and bigger. All the young people, the future of the industry. So
and there's a lot of young activists now, the shop stewards, there's a few to come through, and our organisers. So it is the future of the union. So get along if you're interested in the union, and it's great.
Good place to start.
Yep.
And also we've had a busy week. It's been a bit going on, but we had the tap. I'm not tapping it, Andy. Don't worry. we had a shop stewards meeting, which was a fantastic turnout.
Massive rollout too. It was probably the biggest one I've seen since I've been in here. So it was good. You know, obviously. It was, packed house. I think there was over 200 plus or 290 or whatever.
300.
300, sorry.
Close.
A few short there, but it was massive, you know. Elias gave a report on, you know, at the moment, you know, how critical it is that we get the survey done, and we'll go into that. The survey, you know, it is our log of claims for our EBA, so if you haven't done it, get it done. There's hard copies in the office. It's critical we get a good return on that. Because there's nothing better to say when you're negotiating with builders, well, you know, 100% of our membership did the survey and they all said they don't want that or they want that and they want that. So
by now you should have got a survey in by text on the phone. So it's about 60 questions, I think, if I remember rightly. So it's your chance to have yours saying what you want in the EBA. There's all sorts of things in there. And it's all done. It's all secret. I mean, no one knows. No one knows who filled it out. It's just to get a feel for the members out there on the jobs, what they want, what they don't want. You know, there's all sorts of things. There's the 5 day a week.
5 day week. There's a whole range of stuff, and you know, the 5 day week's a big item. You know, like the leadership said, it's not going in this EBA, it's going to the next one. But there's other questions in there about working conditions, not just in relations to the EBA. It's other stuff. So the leadership of the union, they actually get to see what's going on. There's questions: are you getting enough representation? Is your shop still checking tickets? All that sort of stuff, and that's all the information we need to keep making our union strong.
Yeah, and the RDOs, do you like the RDOs grouped or spread out, all those type of things. So it's your chance to have a say. So, no good whinge and lun if something comes up you don't like or doesn't come up in the EBA. It's a chance for all the members to have their say. So it's important you fill it out.
And we are one of the only unions that do it, And the other thing is, as a union member, you don't have, you pay for representation, but you really need to fill the survey. It helps us get better conditions for everyone, and find out what everyone wants.
Yeah, and I think some important things in there. So make sure you've got if you haven't got the text on your phone, ring the office and find out why.
Or you can go and get the hard copy at the office, and
or see your steward on the job and they can chase it up for you because it is important. There's no point spending all this money on a survey if people don't fill it in. All right, that's on the survey. What else was on? Did you hear anything else on the meetings?
Yeah, obviously we're going to have a rally. We haven't got a date, but we are going to have a rally on WorkSafe.
No date. At the moment.
At the moment. So we're going to have a rally on WorkSafe. At the moment we've got, we've been talking about, Daniel Andrews, he committed to having 20 inspectors from our industry paid at our rates, for construction, because obviously we're a dangerous industry. We've got a lot of stuff going on. If you don't know, if you haven't been in the industry, you wouldn't know what it's supposed to be. And that's where we've had trouble with WorkSafe inspectors before. And obviously we've got zero at the moment. No one's even been interviewed or anything like that. And also we've got issues with WorkSafe. And this is some of the foundational issues with WorkSafe, which we've been blowing about for years. But it's coming close to crunch. We got the head of legals in WorkSafe is an ex-ABC inspector lawyer, so he was running the legals for that. The legal department in WorkSafe, they got inspectors writing notices and they're getting overturned by the legal department because it's run by the head ex-lawyer from the ABCC, Freehills lawyers, all them anti-union lawyers and anti-union people and anti-worker people are running the joint. So it's a cesspool. We want change because we need change. Our industry is a dangerous industry, and now you see WorkSafe come on the job, and we call them WeakSafe, come on the job, and the builders don't really care. They go, please, we'll call WorkSafe. They'll tell us we're allowed to do it anyway,
Have a cup of coffee.
We've got an advisory. We had the young apprentice die on a Camillo job at Moonee Valley Racecourse. He's working by himself. He's fallen. No one really knows what happened. WorkSafe come there. They didn't put a cease work on the area or non-disturbance notice.
Scaffold.
All the scaffold. The young bloke went to hospital, passed away later on in hospital, and they butchered the investigation that much that we've got industrial manslaughter charges, but no one can be charged.
This was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 years ago. So that's, we push and we fight for all this good legislation to protect workers and working class people, and if you got the people at the front, at the head, not doing it, well, what's the point? So we want change. We need change. Our industry does need change because, look at some of them smaller non-EBA jobs. The OH&S on that is just ridiculous.
We don't be doing all this work and campaigning and marching on the streets if they're going to fill the 20 WorkSafe jobs with second-rate human beings from the ABCC. Yep. So that seems like it's the way it's going because once you close down one kennel, another one opens.
Another one opens.
And these people are like lost dogs looking for a new home. And where would you go? WorkSafe.
Especially under a Labor state government too. It'd be like the Liberal Party winning an election and putting John Secker at the head of WorkSafe. You know what I mean? They wouldn't do that.
Neither would John.
I know, but, that's, it's ridiculous. So for them to harbour them people, and you got to remember, the ABCC, they cost our union millions and millions of dollars. Safety went down in the industry and people died. People got fined, families got dragged through the mud because of those. and then what? We're going to harbour them to look after our safety, please.
Never mind what it cost us, what it cost the taxpayers. That's who was paying for all that.
Yeah, exactly.
To make things worse in the construction industry.
And they also took, to get it up, the Liberals took money out of the Royal Commission into institutional churches and all that sort of stuff in regards to what the Royal Commission into the priests and the pedophiles and all that. That's where all that money came out of.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty bad situation. I mean, you know, I can see this turning to tears.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just me. And also, what else have we got, mate? We've got, what do you got there, mate? Any job news?
Well, obviously, yeah, we've had a bit, you know, we've had, I haven't actually got the list in front of me, so, yeah, obviously at the moment, and, you know, this is a serious matter, we might want to stock up on the beers because I'm hearing there's a few issues at CUB. And we all remember what happened last time they put that strike on. So, obviously, we've had a heap of OH&S issues in there because safety's not the best in that joint. So, the boys and Kylie have been down there going through all their OH&S and getting it fixed up.
Remember the old beer strikes? You know, we used to have to drink Courage. Oh, some of the beers they brought from interstate, you'd kill a brown dog.
Oh, Swan Lager, West End. Oh. Might even be worse than that. You might have to drink Forex.
That's when, please. That's when they had their best sales, when we have a beer strike. No one else drinks. It's like Foster's. They drink that overseas. We don't drink it here.
Oh, my nana used to drink it. I remember I knocked off a heap of it when I was younger, and it gave me the worst hangover I've ever had in my life.
Oh, it's shocking.
Oh.
It's good for killing snails in the veggie gardens.
And obviously, we've got a few other ones too. We've had issues at the moment with a lot of the smaller jobs. We had issues this week on a Higgins job in Hawthorne. You know,
Higgins, they still going?
S.J. Higgins went on the job. Everything was covered in mud. No proper sheltered walkways. Blokes covered in mud. Blokes gurneying stuff off, all sprayed. No protective stuff. So it was sort of terrible. So so obviously that's getting fixed up at the moment. Yeah.
All right.
Might cut to a track, eh?
That's not a bad idea. We're struggling, aren't we? Well, what do you got for us, Campo?
Talking Heads.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. And you may find yourself in another part of the world. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. And you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, where is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was. 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 Water dissolving and water removing. There is water at the bottom of the ocean. Under the water, carry the water. Remove the water at the bottom of the ocean. Water dissolving and water removing. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days
And what was that called, Campo?
Talking Heads, mate.
Talking Heads.
Yep.
That was the name of the song.
Oh, yep, I think so. Same as it ever was, I think.
Once in a lifetime. God, God love you, Annie. All right, now, this time of year, as we know, it's freezing cold. It's bitterly cold when you're getting up on those slabs in the morning and all that. So hopefully you've all had your jacket supplied by now, a nice warm jacket.
Your winter issue.
Yeah, your winter issue. If you haven't, you need to see your steward or ring the union, and we'll make sure you're entitled to that, so we make sure you get it, because, mate, up, you know, it's a bit like ever, you're in the loading bay in the street. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Yep. Get up on the 40th floor.
Oh, freezing.
Mate, and probably blowing. So there's that going on. The other thing is with the tower cranes, we've had a bit of an incident during the week. Well, not an incident, but could have been. You know, they're all fully, hopefully they're all fully computerised now, and the days of overlifting are done, but apparently they're not. Apparently someone's overlifted during the week on a brand new crane, and that once you overlift in those cranes, it sends a message to the owner of the crane on his mobile phone and tells him that crane's been overlifting. And so if you're the driver, it's going to be, you're going to end up in a sorry space, because we're not supposed to overlift. They put the computers in the cranes for a reason. And if your bosses are telling you to lift it, don't do it. You've got the computer, you've got everything to back you up to say that you can't do it. And so we shouldn't be overlifting.
Yeah, and same, it goes with the wind as well. You know, you look at the incident happening.
Wind gauges, yep.
You look at the incident happening in Canberra, where the bloke died on the bridge, and, you know, he's going through industrial manslaughter charges at the moment. I haven't actually heard the outcome of that, but every time he lifted, it was on the wind. You could hear where it tripped out, and he kept lifting. That's all come up.
The buzzer.
You know, the buzzer.
That he was overlifting, or it was too windy, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then now they're using it against him, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but they put him in there, so I remember I was driving a crane years ago, and when they first put computers in them, and they said, well, you lifted that the other day. I said, yeah, but now we've got a computer that says I can't, so stay in there.
Oh, you wouldn't have.
I would have. Well, I mean, that's what they want to do. I mean, who's it to protect? It's the crane, just the crane or the driver, but it's not there to protect the driver.
Nah.
So,
it's there to make sure he's not winding off too early and all the other.
Well, that's the wind gauge. That's something else. But I mean, and the wind gauges are there for a reason too, because obviously we've seen cranes blow over, jibs blow over, and if it's blowing up to the wrong gauge or the wrong amount of wind, you stop. That's what they're for. So we've just got to keep an eye on all that and make sure the blokes are doing the right thing, because the bosses are first to give up. If something goes wrong, they'll be saying, oh, we didn't tell them to work in the wind, or we didn't tell them to overlift it, but it's all there on the computers.
Yeah, and you can't get away with anything now on the computer, really, eh? And once it's there, it doesn't disappear, you know what I mean?
Nah. It's a bit like that Facebook, isn't it?
Oh, please.
So they tell me.
You put something out there, it's out there forever. I'm glad they didn't have it when I was younger.
Now, I've got to say this. Now, when Chadson started, John Hollands got the job out there. Unbelievable. But they did. Just a weight of money. I think they won the job.
Yep.
They put those turnstiles back in.
No.
The ones that tried to stop me from the hospital, and I'd be dog kennel out the front. I wasn't allowed on the job.
Yep.
But I've worked out what the turnstiles are for.
What?
All the bosses that have been getting the sack are coming and going.
So they can't get back in?
Yeah. It's been unbelievable out there. Blokes come and going. Oh, it's every day there's a change in management. So I think they're spending too much time sacking their bosses and not building the job out there. But stay tuned for all that.
Well, that's typical John Hollands, isn't it?
It is. And the paperwork, unbelievable.
Oh, please. But, the other thing too, like it came out, we were supposed to talk about it last week, but it came out how construction workers are leading the nation in suicide. So, it's something we've got to look at. And, we got the Blue Heart app program. Sign up, get in, do the course. It's about looking after each other. And, if you've got a mate who's struggling, go have a chat to him, or you haven't heard from someone for a while, touch base with him, because it's a shit thing that, construction workers, we are leading the nation in this. It's, it is a problem, and we need to address it. And, the only way to address it is talk about it. So, if you've got a mate who's struggling, reach out or speak to the Blue Heart Hats, or if you're struggling yourself, get on the Blue Heart Hats and have a chat. And, the more we talk about it and lose the stigma, hopefully the less it happens. So,
Yeah, good point, mate. And the other thing we're doing is with the maze. The
Yep.
maze is about, autism.
yeah,
And you wouldn't believe how many kids have been touched with autism. It's a shocking thing for the kids,
Yeah.
and the families. Breaks up families, because,
So get in, you can go online and buy your Amaze shirts and all that from the office, and all money raised goes back to Amaze,
And out on the John Holland's job, the good thing is the union side of things, the boys are all throwing in some money every week for Amaze for trying to, I think, throw some money, gold coins in the hat every week, which I think every job should be doing.
Yeah.
Because they have got a school, and I'll get the name for next week, the school down in Port Melbourne where all the kids with autism go and all that. And I've spoke to the teachers down there, 2 or 3 of the teachers. We often take some money down or if we get a big heap of footies for the kids or something like that. And the stories, and the way they control those kids, because, when they're badly affected by autism, it's horrible and it's very hard for them. But they just sort of get on with their jobs. You wonder, and they're getting paid peanuts, but they just get on with their jobs, and they're always up and bubbly and all that. But geez, I'll tell you what,
Yeah, they got a heart of gold, the people that deal with that. Look after even disabled people and all that. Like
special
it's a hard
type of
job.
people.
I couldn't do it.
So get behind the maze. All right, you threw me with that.
Yep.
So listen, we better start talking about scallywags and sookie lalas. We're coming towards the end. We've touched on WorkSafe. We've already done that. WorkSafe staff. I hope I'm not rolling to get 20.
We got one more on WorkSafe, and this one's a pretty bad one. We got Bay Construction. They were doing a job in around the Carlton area. They had a plumber got injured on the job, fell and hurt himself. Pretty bad. Had to go to the hospital and all that. That happened on the Friday, and WorkSafe didn't get out there till the lunchtime Tuesday. So you'd hate to be hanging by your
Short and curlies.
Waiting for them.
I don't know where they were then. No one else decided them.
Yep. So,
and so you've covered this. We've got WorkSafe, and we've got Bay Building.
Yep.
And JDC Plastering.
CD. Hang on. You
Let's go to CUB then.
Obviously I went through the issues of CUB. They got bad OH&S, and we've got a part of it shut down because they had bad access and no control. No, they had no safety control measures in or plans or how to deal with it or swims or anything to do with forklifts. So you're thinking
no delineation,
no safety plan. So you got to have a plan to say how you're going to control the risk of someone getting hit and all that. But they've been going there for years. There'd be 100 and so plus forklifts you'd think down there.
Get Gibby
loading
out.
Trucks.
Get Gibby out, mate. He's a specialist on the
delineation. I think that's been pulled up. So, like I said, I'll be putting a few cans aside. Just start rationing yourself because.
Start stocking up.
The forklifts aren't going at the moment, so the trucks aren't getting loaded. So, be wary of that.
Dynon
Road. Well, that's more of a sookie lala. I know. I took up about it, but please, it's been stopped forever. If you live in the West, it's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. So,
All right. So who we blame? Who could win that Dynon Road?
It might be McQuaid, the organiser.
McQuaid. We'll blame McQuaid.
We'll blame him.
Righto. All right. So we've got. We'll go to Sookie Lala. So we're saying.
We got and you got that J and A.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So who we got? The Sookie Lala.
Sookie Lala. Obviously, everyone in the West whinging about Dynon Road.
Yeah, we can't blame them for that.
Yep.
And the one you just said there was J&A Sons.
Yeah. So obviously they've
got a fantastic industrial relations officer there.
Tried to discipline the whole workforce, and then the organiser come down.
It's not allowed in.
Not allowed in. So they locked out.
Well, he could
locked out little Marty.
He could get through a diamond fence, couldn't he? Could fit through that.
He'd actually would.
They put a fly screen around the job or something.
Yeah, exactly. So
Jesus, what's wrong with him? All right, so what are we going for out of this lot, mate? We'll go for J.A. Sons. They're a new one.
They're a new one, yeah.
So they could be scallywags. Sookie Lala, we'll have to give it the Dynon Road. That's the only one we've got there.
Dynon Road. Well, the people of the West looking about Dynon Road.
Yeah. All right. Just before we knock off, we've got to. These people haven't paid in their donations, so get them in a hurry because we're about to shut the books. And if your name's on the list, the shit list, well, won't be good for you. You've donated, but you haven't paid. Not good.
Hurry up, Nettie.
Hurry up, yeah. So you know you are. So we'll go out in the same old way. Dare to struggle.
Dare the win.
If you don't fight,
you lose.
And it's good morning for the Concrete Gang. And who we're going out with, Campo?
Smashing Pumpkins.
The world is a vampire sent to drain. Secret destroyers hold you up to the flames. And what do I get for my pain? Betrayed desires and a piece of a game. Even though I know, I suppose I'll show all my cruel and cold like old Joe. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Someone will say what is lost can never be saved. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Now I'm making nothing but an animal. But can you fake it for just one more show? And what do you want? I want to change. What do you got when you feel the same? Even though I suppose I'll show all my cold like old Joe. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Someone will say what is lost can never be saved. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a Tell me I'm the only one. Tell me there's no other one. Jesus wasn't on this song. Tell me I'm the chosen one. Jesus wasn't on this song, but despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. And someone will say what is lost can never be saved. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Tell me I'm the only one. Tell me there's no other one. Jesus wasn't on this
This is a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. Go to allthews.3cr.org.au.